I mean, narratives are real. Look what the Rose did.
Oh, that's true. That's true. That one worked. We're alive. What's going on, everybody? Friday, January 4th, coming off just a fantastic Kawhi Leonard narrative game. Oh, wait, he put up 30 fantasy points. No one's going to be talking about how he was going to smash because he was going back to San Antonio. DeMar DeRozan, on the other hand, did what everybody thought Kawhi was going to do. Gotta love it. Maybe we should pay more attention to the data. I don't know. That'd be my guess.
Yeah, I think, and this isn't like in hindsight because I think I was kind of clear about it during the day, but 43% on Kawhi on DraftKings yesterday might be the worst chalk play of the entire season.
I could not agree more.
When you factor in, not even talking about Kawhi, just when you factor in like everything else that was on that slate.
Yeah. Without question. And that was the case before the game tipped off. Or, I guess technically right at tip-off, knowing nothing about the outcome.
Right.
It's just silly. As usual, we are brought to you by Thrive Fantasy. Thrive is a new DFS provider that focuses on prop bets, which I'm hoping are up already. I'm feeling excited for this morning. We got NFL, no NBA yet. You're picking out of a list of 20 props. You have to pick your 10 favorite of most of the big names of a slate. You got to try to pick whether they're going to go over or under points, rebounds, assists, some of those categories added together. At the end of the show, Adam and I will go through 5 of our favorite prop bets. So stick around for that. And as usual, you can sign up for Awesemo.com using the promo code NBA Strategy, one big word, 7-day free trial on any package that we offer, including Fantasy Cruncher. So get in for that if you're curious what our tools look like. You can check it all out and it won't cost you a cent. Man, these first couple games, and by couple I mean 6, are really not appealing.
Yeah, that's putting it nicely, I think.
It's really, really, really brutal. Can't wait to talk about all of them. Might as well just dive in.
We might be able to make it through 10 games in an hour.
We honestly might. We'll start off Boston and Dallas. Celtics 111 implied total. Mavs 107. No Kyrie. Got a boo-boo face. Terry Rozier 6,100 on FanDuel. 6,100 on DraftKings. $17 on Yahoo. I like him quite a bit on FanDuel. I like him a lot on Yahoo. I could take it or leave it on DK. How do you want to manage Rozier tonight?
Yeah, I mean, that's about where I'm at as well. If I get to him, I get to him. The thing is, and obviously it's 9:30 in the morning, so I don't really know, but he was like 70% owned on FanDuel last slate. He was like 25% owned on DraftKings, even though his price tag even then was at like 53 or 5,400. So I imagine he's just going to be popular because he served those people well, and he's in the exact same spot here. Once you get to like a 6K price tag on Terry Rozier, it's not that I think he's a bad play. It's just that if he's going to be popular, I'm not sure there's a huge edge in rostering him in tournaments that frequently.
Completely agree. He's basically priced where he should be now.
Right.
For his role, at least. 17 on Yahoo, though, looks pretty tasty. That's probably like $5-6 cheaper than it should be. Do you think that Gordon Hayward repeats his awesome performance without Kyrie?
I hate Gordon Hayward so much. Like he's just been ending up in like, it's like, not that I've been playing a lot of him, but he just keeps ending up in like my best lineup every single night and just like tanking it. And then of course, like the other night he's in like all the lineups to beat me. But yeah, I mean, I think that he's still obviously just struggling and not playing that great this year, but Kyrie being out does help him out because, obviously there's more usage without Kyrie, but also you get, more of a facilitator role from Hayward. You get more assists from him. So, I think that the price tag on DraftKings jumped like what 10 to 20%.
He's up. He's at 5,400 now.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not like a slam dunk play or anything, but with Kyrie being out, it does make Hayward more appealing.
Yeah, I would have no problem getting to him. I really don't mind that DraftKings price, all things considered. It's just really hard to calibrate where you think he is from a talent standpoint right now, because you can make a case for a wide range of outcomes for Gordon Hayward.
Yeah, exactly. Marcus Morris is questionable too. If he's out, then you get a minutes increase for Hayward and you get a productivity increase from Kyrie being out.
Sure. Do you have any real interest in anybody else here? I think most of these guys are more interesting on FanDuel, like Jaylen Brown for 4,500 or Jason Tatum for 6,100, both priced cheaper than they are on DK.
Yeah, the FanDuel prices there are nice. I would expect that I end up with a decent amount of Boston guys on FanDuel. On DraftKings, they all just kind of project as basically correctly priced.
Yeah. Rozier and Hayward for me on Yahoo. Rozier, Haywood, Tatum, and Brown for me on FanDuel. Mostly just Hayward on DK if I'm looking at this stuff. But there are a lot of games in the late night that have much better fantasy outlooks than this one. That's for sure. So no real volume in this game.
Yeah, I feel like this is a show. Like if you're listening, just keep in mind like the guy we're talking about guys in every game because that's what we're gonna do. But like the plays at the end of the night are gonna be just way more appealing.
Yep. Head to Dallas, where I believe everybody is healthy. No one really standing out outside of Dennis Smith, now up to a very sizable $11 on Yahoo in case you're looking to go there. So he remains a fantastic play. Otherwise, if you get to Luka, cool. I think DeAndre is probably perfectly fine on DK or FanDuel, but this is just not that appealing of a spot.
Right. When Dallas is healthy, there's two problems with Dallas when they're healthy. And for one, it's obviously that everyone's back, and so you don't have as high of a usage rate for some guys like Harrison Barnes drops off with Dennis Smith Jr., et cetera. But also they just run it's not that they run like a deep rotation. It's just that they don't run their starters really heavy minutes. You get 32, maybe 34 minutes out of the starters, whereas other teams, like if Luka was on a different team, you'd be getting like 38 minutes a night from Luka.
How many minutes would you play if you were on the Wizards?
The entire game, every single night. Yeah, so it just makes it so, obviously I love Luka. I like that his price tag on DraftKings has dropped all the way to 7,400. I think it makes him a perfectly good play, even though the matchup against Boston stuff. But when you start comparing him to other options at his price range, it's definitely important to keep in mind that he's probably going to play like 4 minutes less than a lot of these guys.
Yeah, that really matters too, especially on a bigger slate where you're already playing against a team that's really good defensively and probably better defensively right now with Kyrie out. As weird as that sounds.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to point anybody else out outside of Dennis Smith on Yahoo, where I just don't understand why he's $11.
It's funny though, because it hasn't mattered so far.
No, it hasn't. But he should be like, I don't know, 18 probably. 17.
I don't know. He's bad. It's not even that he's bad. It's that he plays 28 minutes a game.
Right, but like at 28 minutes a game, he's got to be more than $11.
Yeah. No, he should be more, but I'm probably like 14, 15?
16 would get him to like what I would call the same value as DraftKings.
Okay, then yeah. Because DraftKings seems like he's basically correctly priced.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a 5-point gap in value there between the two sites. So Yahoo hates Dennis Smith. Yeah, apparently. I hate this game, so we're going to talk about a different one. Way more love in this one. The Cleveland Cavaliers hosting the Utah Jazz. 100-point implied total for the Cavs, 108.5 for the Jazz. I made up 3 lines this morning, and now I don't remember which ones they were. So I don't know if it's that one or not.
This one I have at Jazz by 9.
Yeah, it's 8 and 208 on Pinnacle, so this one's still right. Oh, God. Cleveland defense, atrocious. Jazz defense, fantastic. Let's talk Cleveland, I guess. If you want to play Alec Burks on Yahoo, sure. If you want to play Chetty on Yahoo, sure. Otherwise, I don't see any single appealing thing anywhere in Cleveland.
No, neither do I. Rodney Hood being back, that takes away, whatever appeal there was for some guys. Patrick McCaw played 18 minutes last game. You're now back to a point with this Cleveland team where they just have like a million bodies. None of them are very good on a permanent basis. Thompson being back obviously takes value away from Larry Nance, who played 22 minutes last game. Yeah. So yeah, there's just nothing here for me.
Yeah, ignore the entire team. Utah side. 8,800 for Gobert, 79 on DK, 33 on Yahoo. I mean, it profiles as a decent spot for him, but I'm not crazy about getting Gobert today.
Yeah, I mean, Thompson being back does boost the Cleveland front court. Obviously before he got hurt, it was kind of a spot that people were running into trouble a lot because, Cleveland sucks defensively and we like taking guys against them. But individually, like Tristan Thompson can do a pretty decent job. It's not to take anything away from Gobert. Like he's been playing out of his mind. He's averaging about 1.3 fantasy points per minute over the last month. His usage has gone up a little bit, which, it's still not a high usage rate, but when you're as efficient as Rudy Gobert is, that's still, a pretty big deal. Obviously, rebounds a ton, does everything when he's out there. But I just think it's still not the best spot here against Thompson,
Right.
especially when you factor in just how slow Cleveland plays.
Yeah.
Like they're a terrible, terrible team defensively. But if you actually look at the points per game that they allow, they rank like 19th in the NBA because of just how damn slow they play.
It's gross. Four possessions down from Utah's average right now. That's massive in a game by game basis. I'd be fine to get Mitchell. I'd be fine to get Rubio on FanDuel or Yahoo if he plays. He's questionable right now. Honestly, I hope that he doesn't play, just make things easier. But again, this game is just not appealing. I can't imagine wanting to prioritize any single piece of this.
Yeah, I mean, if Rubio sat, then obviously Exum becomes a good value play, and you get a boost for Donovan Mitchell and for Joe Ingles.
Yeah. Otherwise, I mean, what's the point?
Jay Crowder revenge.
Somebody already mentioned Alec Burks revenge.
Oh, yeah.
Rodney Hood revenge, I guess, too.
Yeah.
We should put all of those revenges in a bucket and just send them out to sea.
Kyle Korver revenge.
Sure. Kyle Korver, I would imagine, is very, very happy that he was traded to Utah.
Yeah, I would think so.
That had to be like the best thing that's happened to him in 2018. Honest, like not even kidding around. That's probably the best thing that happened to him.
Yeah, no, I mean, can you imagine going from Cleveland to Utah? Like how happy you have to be?
Especially when you like Utah to begin with.
Right.
Because I probably wouldn't want to be in either place, really. But
yeah,
if I really liked what Utah as a state had to offer, it's got to be fantastic. Good team, perfect city. Yeah. Congrats, Kyle Korver. But that said, don't go anywhere near him. I think I have him ranked 58th at his position today on DK, so probably not going to make the player pool.
Yeah, seems right.
All right, let's get out of this garbage again. It's not getting better. Not getting better. Chicago Bulls hosting the Indiana Pacers. 98-point implied total for the Bulls, 104 for the Pacers. The Bulls will be without Justin Holiday, traded to the Grizzlies yesterday. They picked up some Brooks and Wayne Selden in some second rounders. So the Bulls are really priced differently on DraftKings compared to FanDuel. And that shouldn't matter because I don't really think that you should be playing anyone on the Bulls except for if you want to roll the dice on Wendell Carter at 4,900 or $14 on Yahoo. What do you want here? Nothing?
$3,000 Chandler Hutchinson?
Yeah, that works, I guess.
I mean, it's not that he's a productive player and moving into the starting lineup isn't going to do him any favors playing with Don and Levine, but Justin Holiday was playing 36 to 38 minutes a night. Chandler Hutchinson's, been playing out of position at the 4 all season long. Now you get more wing minutes available. I can't imagine that he doesn't soak up a ton of those Justin Holiday minutes.
I have him in for 28 right now. Admittedly, I probably didn't put enough time into hashing out the rotation of the Bulls at 7 o'clock this morning. So what do you have?
I mean, I was gonna throw him at 32 and go from there. I haven't figured it out entirely yet, but like it's still fluid. I mean, Antonio Blakeney could pick up minutes for all we know. Like Shaq Harrison could play more, but it just seems like the move was made to get Hutchison minutes. Like you have Bobby Portis about to come back to where like Hutchison would be getting 0 playing time if Justin Holiday was still on this team.
Yeah. So
it seems like a move made to, get him playing time.
God, this team is dreadful. Do you want anything else here?
No, Indiana plays incredibly slow. They're very, very good defensively. Yeah, no.
It's so ugly. So ugly. I'm sure the Bulls will win outright.
It's just the kind of game where, like, even if one of these guys on Chicago is efficient and plays well, like I was thinking Wendell Carter Jr. at 4,900 because I think it's a fine price tag for his upside, and I probably will end up with more than I would like in tournaments just because he's volatile and I like him. But it just feels like one of those games where like even if you watched it and it's like, oh, Wendell Carter's playing well, you go back and look and he finished with like 31 points or something.
Yeah. Oh, I totally agree. I'd be shocked to like really care if there's a piece of the Bulls in the winning lineups tomorrow. Congrats to the Chicago Bulls, I guess. Even if Wendell Carter puts up, let's say he hits 37 on DK, which would be where I have him for target. Like, I don't know, is he what, 1% owned, 2% owned? Like,
right.
The level of impact that it can have is minuscule. Let's look at the Indiana side. Turner, questionable with a broken face. I assume he plays.
Yeah.
They probably shouldn't play him. There's no real need. Give him a day to get used to a mask or whatever he has to do. Oladipo, 8,800 on both sites, $34 on Yahoo. I mean, I'd be fine with Oladipo on FanDuel, but be prepared for this game. He should do whatever he wants to do.
Yeah, should play 34 to 36 minutes. The $8,800 price tag on DraftKings isn't super appealing to me just because there's always more underpriced guys. Probably worth noting too that Chicago, we had talked about it. I think you and I had talked about it when they made the coaching change that they were about to become like a slow team.
Yeah.
And that's been the case. Like even just reading some tweets from Chicago beat writers, they've talked about how they've gotten better defensively under the new coaching staff, but it's just come at the expense of their offense because they just play at a snail's pace now.
They're like posting up and stuff. Zach Lowe and Pascal Siakam were like low-key making fun of the Bulls in a podcast.
Did you say Pascal Siakam?
Yeah. It's a really good podcast. Siakam was pretty entertaining, but they were like, what did you think of the Bulls? Like, are they even playing 2018 basketball?
Yeah, I mean, since over the last month, they're at the 5th slowest pace in the league. They rank they've been the 10th best defensive team.
Do you have the pace since Boylen took over?
What day did he take over? I just have the last month.
I know, man. You think is that in the Rolodex of shit in my brain when Jim Boylen took over for the Bulls?
I don't know, man. I remember a lot of random shit like that just from clicking it in like every day to check it. So I didn't know if you had that one like memorized.
God, I hope not. Chat, if you have it before I get there, I'd love to know it. It's not even in his Wikipedia. For real, like it's not even. Boylen? There's not even like a on whatever date Boylen took over. It's like they didn't even acknowledge this Bulls season.
It was somewhere around a month ago.
Wow, is this the right Boylen? Nope, that was the other Jim Boylen. Son of a bitch. Wait, now I don't know which one's which. 2018 to present coaching history. Nope, yeah, even this Wikipedia is not showing it. He took over December 2nd.
Okay, so I was looking at December 3rd.
Well, that'll work then. So what's the pace?
96.04.
Okay. Just going to lop off a possession in my pace numbers. I had them at 97, so I'll make this game even more unappealing. Do you want any part of Indiana if Turner plays?
No, because DraftKings actually did something smart and preemptively priced Domantas Sabonis up. So if Turner plays, it becomes basically impossible to get to $7,000 Sabonis. If Turner's out, then it obviously still just play Sabonis.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean the price tags on all these guys are just really appealing, or not appealing for just a really bad game.
God, it's so miserable.
This game's gonna go to like 4 overtimes, and these guys are gonna hit like 6.5x.
Oh, God. It'll be the one game where Tyreek finally goes bananas or something.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else to say here. I mean, everybody's bad.
Yeah. Bad by price, not
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I love Indiana.
I'm just trying to save you in chat.
Yeah. Indiana's fantastic. Great team. Just wholly unappealing. It should be a great spot. It's just not.
It's an example of like price just kind of dictating everything. If you didn't have these Indiana guys priced up, sure, Chicago's a perfectly fine team to take guys against, but
Yeah, you would want Oladipo against the Bulls.
Right.
Like in a vacuum. He should destroy them. They 29th in turnover rate. Oladipo lives for steals and potentially blocks. It could be there, but why worry about it?
I'd like Indiana if Fred Hoiberg were still coaching.
Yeah, me too. Ooh, all right, we got all the lines for the games that I made up. So let me just switch these over quickly. Brooklyn and Memphis is 3.5 and 204. I'm close on the line, not so much on the total. What else we got? Dallas and Boston, 5.5 and 217. Close enough. Orlando, Minnesota, 5 and 213. Oh, almost nailed that one on the dot. 8 and 224 for the Lakers. Wow, God, the Knicks are so bad. Lakers are favored by 8 at home against the Knicks without LeBron James. Amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Alrighty. On to another barn burner. The Memphis Grizzlies hosting the Brooklyn Nets. 103.75 implied total for the Grizz. 100.25 for the Nets. Oh, God. Memphis breaking in Justin Holiday here, I would imagine. I got him in for 20 minutes. I have no idea.
What'd you say the line was?
Grizzlies by 3.5?
Like totals?
Oh, 205. Oh, like both of them. Grizzlies 103.75. Brooklyn 100.25. Were we doing something with that, or?
I had my numbers wrong.
Oh, okay. We'll start with Gasol and Conley. 8,400 for both on FanDuel. Gasol only 8,100 on DK, but Conley 7,400. I kind of like Conley a little bit here. Hopefully that game where he had no points will keep people off of him. I've enjoyed rostering him lately. Enjoyed's probably not the right word. I have rostered him lately on Yahoo, where he's $26. Do you want either of these guys? That'll probably be
I mean, I think I'm with you on Conley. I think the price tag's just a little cheap. Marcus All's fine too. I mean, it's obviously a very nice matchup for him. The minutes have been there for the most part. Only played 30 minutes against Detroit, but prior to that, had been playing 35 to 36 a night. So if I get some Gasol, that's fine. But I think the price tag on Conley in particular is really appealing.
Yeah. Jaren Jackson, 6,300 on FanDuel, 5,600 on DK, $18 on Yahoo. Love him on Yahoo for 18. Dude just scares me constantly, but I like being around for when the game goes well.
Yeah, he almost won me a ton of money last slate. Yeah. Not that I had a lot of him, but he was 1% owned and happened to be in one of my best lineups.
He was 1% owned, and you and I accidentally had him for 60.
Right. Yeah. I think I had 8%.
Yeah. Ooh,
but
you might be figuring it out.
But yeah, I mean, it's a really nice spot for him. It's worth noting that Joakim Noah played 4 minutes last game, which that's something that had kind of been negatively affecting Jackson. He still didn't get all the backup center minutes, which is annoying, but he got a good share of them. So, I think that if I'm sure I'll get across, 150 lineups or whatever, some $5,600 Jaren Jackson on DraftKings. It's not that I expect it to be a priority.
Right. No, I agree. The $18 price tag on Yahoo is fun. I like that a lot. Do you want any slow-mo?
Want?
It's true.
I'll probably get some slow-mo.
Yeah.
Well, I think it depends on Holiday too. Like if Holiday's there, that could very easily cut into Anderson's minutes to where he kind of lives around 30 now instead of 38.
I have him in for 33 right now. I gave Holiday 20. I'm not basing that on,
Is Holiday definitely playing?
No, not at all. Not to my knowledge, at least. I mean, I couldn't say definitely.
I assumed he wasn't.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I just went with it. If I pull him out, it's not really changing anything. It's not like I'm going to become the biggest Garrett Temple fan in the world or something. Although, for 3,900 on FanDuel.
Holiday. You said he's what?
Garrett Temple's 3,900 on FanDuel. So if you want to punt with it, it's not like outlandish.
Right. Yeah, I mean, Holiday going there just gives Memphis another useless DFS body to soak up minutes.
Yeah, for sure. I wanted to make a really bad joke yesterday before I saw that Marshawn Brooks was involved in the trade. And I was wondering if, I don't even want to say this out loud because it's so fucking bad. I was wondering if they actually meant Denzel Valentine because they wanted a different holiday.
Oh man,
Yeah, I sat back on that one.
cannot unhear that.
Yeah, I thought it was good and bad at the same exact time. I was like, you know what? This might be the painkillers talking. All right, let's hit the Nets. 7,700 for Russell, 74 on DK, $27 on Yahoo. We'll also talk about his partner in crime, Spencer Dinwiddie, 6,400 on FanDuel, $1,300 cheaper, $900 cheaper on DK, $5 cheaper on Yahoo. Do you want any of this backcourt?
Not particularly.
Yeah, same. Big time pace down spot for the Nets.
Yeah, and just a really good Memphis defense. I mean, Russell obviously can torch anyone. Dinwiddie can be good against anyone, but it's pretty unlikely, and I don't see the need to have tons of Russell. It's just a completely different spot than it was last game.
God, I'm so sick of rostering the Nets. I feel like I'm never right about it, whether it's fucking Kuruks or taking Jared Allen and him putting up like 18. I got a Damari Carroll day once that went well, so I'm team Damari Carroll for life. But other than that, do you want anything here?
I had a bunch of Russell last slate. That was fun.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I can't see getting to a lot of anything from the Nets.
Yeah, neither can I. 4 games down, 26 minutes into this show. Torrid pace. And it's not, well, we'll at least have to talk about this one. The Miami Heat hosting the Washington Wizards. 110.5 implied total for the Heat. 103.5 for the Wizards. Pace up spot for Miami. This should be a fantastic game. However, there are way too many bodies on the Heat, and I have no idea who's going to get some of these minutes.
Yeah, I like the centers. Whiteside obviously being the preferred option. I expect he probably plays around 30 minutes here. You have Washington playing, Thomas Bryant for boatloads of minutes now. You don't have to worry about Markieff Morris attempting to shoot Whiteside off the floor. So I like Whiteside quite a bit at 6,800 on DraftKings.
Yeah, I love him. I love him even more at $7K on FanDuel.
Yeah, that's really appealing.
Probably the number one center for me right now, and $25 on Yahoo. He's
that's
one of my
really
favorite
great
plays of the day.
Yeah, and if you don't have Whiteside, or if Whiteside doesn't do well, it probably means that Bam Adebayo is doing well. It would be it's really hard to come up with a situation where one of these guys doesn't do well.
Yep, I completely agree with you there. So how are you managing the minutes? I'm basically assuming that Whiteside, Bam, Kelly Olynyk, and James Johnson just get everything from power forward and center. And I'm not including Justice Winslow at this point. Now that everybody is back.
Right, yeah. So, I think all of the center minutes will go to Whiteside and Bam.
Right.
So, don't play Whiteside and Bam together.
Right.
Yeah, so they'll split 48. I think that you'll have Olynyk and James Johnson split most of 48.
Yeah, you can talk me into 45 there.
Right, Derek Jones picks up a couple.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Winslow's running point.
Right.
Yeah, so Derek Jones is, he picks up a few at the 4, and then you get the rest of his minutes at the 3. Dion Waiters, I would expect, has an impact on Derek Jones. The more minutes Waiters plays, the less Jones plays.
So I have Jones in for 6 minutes right now. I have Waiters in for 8.
Who do you... Oh, you have a bunch of minutes for James Johnson.
I have 26 for James Johnson. I have 19 for Kelly Olynyk. I have Wade in.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so Wade
Magruder.
Yeah.
Adam and Josh always fall for the Whiteside trap. Okay. I can't. It's too early. Yeah, I don't... Someone's got to take a major playing time haircut here.
Yeah, with Wade back. Yeah. And Magruder only played 20 minutes last game, so it's not like you can really take minutes from him.
I gave him 21.
Right.
Someone out of Magruder or Derek Jones has to play almost nothing. They're not going to play Dwayne Wade 8 minutes,
Right.
If he plays, he's playing north of 20.
Tyler Johnson probably drops back to 16.
Okay, so I have Tyler Johnson at 24. That's the only swing spot for me.
Like, I think Tyler Johnson just becomes the backup point guard.
Okay. I mean, this is a brutal rotation to try to plot out.
Yeah, it has been all season long.
And even when it starts, like, it can change immediately in the game.
Right. Yeah, Miami and it's like Miami, Milwaukee, I think are my two like least favorite like real teams to actually try and figure out.
I'm going to pull 4 minutes off of Tyler Johnson, give him 20, and then give those 4 back to Derek Jones and put him at 10. I can't imagine. I don't know how to get Derek Jones to a number where you would want to play him in fantasy.
Yeah, no. I mean, and I'm with you. I don't think he's a good play. I'm just kind of trying to figure out how this rotation works now, just because it's gonna annoy me.
Ellington hasn't been in the rotation for the whole season, essentially.
Right.
So, yeah, we don't have to pay attention to him.
Yeah, and Waiters being back. Like, if Ellington didn't play last game, it's really tough to imagine that he suddenly cracks the rotation.
He needs to get himself to a contender soon.
Yeah.
Because he should probably be playing 25 minutes a game somewhere.
Right. Okay, so back to relevant things.
Yeah.
Whiteside, if you're playing a bunch of lineups and you need a cheap guy, like Bam Adebayo has upside, just don't play him with Whiteside. Everyone else kind of got expensive. Like, Josh Richardson's fine. Justice
James
Winslow
Johnson,
fine.
man.
How many minutes does he play, though?
3,900.
Well, yeah, but if he plays 16 minutes, I don't care.
Yeah, but if he plays 26, he's the best play of the day for 3,900.
Yeah, no, I mean, I like him.
God damn the Heat. Flat minimum on Yahoo, too, but what else is new?
Yeah, I mean, I'll have James Johnson. It's just like...
I have him in for 26 minutes. You could talk me into 20, though.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm going to put him at 20. I have him at 26, too. It's just like, your guess is as good as mine. Does he play more? Does Kelly Olynyk play more?
Who knows?
It's a good spot for James Johnson.
Yeah, like James Johnson can play 20 and Kelly Olynyk can play 26, and I wouldn't bat an eye at that.
Right.
And that's sort of I mean, if you're running these guys, just put randomness on the Heat at like 30, 35% or something and just let it go. Set more rules here and groups than anything else. Because I love James Johnson on DK and Yahoo. You should, I don't want to say you should feel safe because you shouldn't, but he is priced at a spot where there's a lot of upside in the number if it goes well.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And there's not a lot of guys elsewhere where that's the case. If you want to hedge that with Kelly Olynyk for 4K on FanDuel, I think that, you wouldn't want, that could work out for you. You can punt with Derek Jones on FanDuel. I don't know why you would really want to, but 3,900, it's worth the risk. Josh Richardson for $22 on Yahoo is mildly appealing. I don't think that anybody coming back really impacts his playing time. I mean, you can naturally get him down to like 32 minutes instead of what he normally plays, but who knows? This is just tough, which sucks because it's a fantastic spot.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'd rather play Winslow than Richardson at this point just because Winslow has the ball in his hands more. Like, over the last month, you have a higher usage rate for Winslow. You have a higher assist percentage for Winslow. You have a higher rebounding percentage for Winslow. They're comparably priced, and you're losing, a couple minutes on Winslow.
Yeah, this is one where I need to dig into like all of the rates right now and see. I probably need to rebuild most of these guys because it's the hardest team to play in DFS.
Over the last month, so that includes 2 Goran Dragic games. I can just take him off the floor. So over the last month, without Dragic on the floor, Justice Winslow's at 23.1% usage compared to 21.6% for Richardson. He's at a 21.7% assist percentage compared to 20.2% for Richardson. He's at a 10.1% rebounding percentage compared to 5.5% for Richardson. Winslow's averaged 36.5 DraftKings points per 36. Richardson's averaged 30.5.
Yeah. Man, this would be a perfect game for Dwayne Wade to sit out. I don't know what to do here. I'm just going to play Whiteside. I'm very comfortable. I only have him in for 27 minutes, too. Like, if I bump that even higher, it would be really, really ridiculous. But I can pull that even lower.
I have him at 28 just so I can keep Bam at 20.
Yeah.
But I think it's very realistic that Whiteside could play like 30.
Yeah, for sure. You would expect someone in the front court for Miami to play really well here.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, with Bam and with Whiteside, they're both so cheap.
Yeah.
You know, like, if it goes 24 minutes to Whiteside and 24 to Bam, Bam probably does really well for a 4K price tag. If it goes 28 and 20 or 30 and 18, then Whiteside probably smashes.
Yeah. And like Whiteside can smash in 24 minutes. That's the key takeaway here.
If this were a smaller slate, I would actually consider just setting a rule where like every lineup has one of the two.
Yeah.
That's not necessary on this slate. Like there's
just too much volume of the two of them.
Right.
Do you want to touch on anybody else in this game? Or on the Miami side, at least?
Not on the Miami side.
Okay. Here we go. Your Wizards, 9,700 for Bradley Beal on FanDuel, 9,200 on DK, 43 on Yahoo. Close to the point where like I'm not super interested in Bradley Beal.
Yeah, so am I. Especially, I mean, Miami is a team where they can probably scheme to do some, slow him down a bit. It's just to a price point now where, if Bradley Beal goes out and scores 55 fantasy points, good. That's good for his price tag. It's not like you have to close your laptop if you don't have Bradley Beal. Before when he was, in the mid 8s or low 8s or high 7s, like if he goes out there and just has an inefficient game and scores, 52 fantasy points, like you're kind of screwed if you don't have him.
Right. Ooh, ownership is out. Let me grab that quick.
And yeah, I mean, Miami, so over the last month, Miami has played at the 4th slowest pace, and they have the 5th best defensive rating.
Brutal for what we want to happen.
Right. And we have a coach in Spoelstra who I think smart enough to figure out ways to limit Beal.
Chalk play on DK, any guesses?
Have we talked about him yet? Probably not.
We have not.
No.
Karl Anthony Towns.
Who are they? Why do I not see that game?
I don't know. They play the Magic.
Oh, that's right. There it is. I was looking later in the night.
All right. So the pricing on the Wizards is fantastic on DK. Almost everybody priced poorly on FanDuel outside of Porter. Thomas Bryant, 6,900, 6K on DK, $20 on Yahoo. I love him on Yahoo. You can talk me into him on DK. I don't really need any part of him on FanDuel where he's $100 cheaper than Whiteside.
Yeah, I'm glad DraftKings finally adjusted their pricing, though. Like, last slate, it was another one of those where you basically just had to have, like, 3 or 4 Wizards in every lineup.
Yeah.
That's not the case anymore. But, yeah, I mean, Thomas Bryant is playing just ridiculous minutes. He played 39 minutes against the Hawks. He's apparently joined the Scott Brooks, like, the crew of guys that Scott Brooks just wants to run into the floor. And so, yeah, I mean, like, the comfortable thing to do is still to project him for like 30 minutes because it's Thomas Bryant and it doesn't feel good like giving him 36, but I'm giving Thomas Bryant 36 minutes. Like he's just playing monster minutes here. He's playing really, really well. He's facing a Miami team that, they're not going to go small.
I didn't give him that many minutes. I gave him 29. So tell me how stupid I am.
I mean, he played 39 minutes last game. Like he's good. Like his minutes have been up. Like he's a starter now for the Wizards. Like treat him like a starter. Treat him like Scott Brooks treats his starters.
What do you have Sam Decker at? Like 15?
Yeah, around there.
Okay.
Yeah.
To be fair, I might be giving Porter too many minutes, and that was sort of my like adjustment.
I mean, I think Porter's minutes come from Decker, though.
Okay. I gave Porter 27. I have no real, we have no idea right now.
Right. Porter only played 14 minutes against the Hawks.
Yeah, weird. But that's not really going to continue, so.
It's really weird for Scott Brooks to give a minutes limit and then come under.
Right.
But
he's 4,900 on FanDuel.
Wow. Yeah.
So, getting his minutes right is really relevant.
So so looking at the rotation they ran against Atlanta though, and tying it back to Thomas Bryant. So Jan Mahimi still did not play at all. Atlanta played Dwayne Dedmon and Alex Len almost the entire game at center. So it was a big Atlanta team, and Jan Mahimi still did not play. So you had Jeff Green getting backup center minutes. You had Thomas Bryant obviously playing the bulk of the center minutes. Sam Decker played 16 minutes. Troy Brown played 6. So that's 22 very replaceable minutes.
Yeah.
Wing minutes that Porter can take. Jeff Green played 36. So I
have Green in for 34 right now. Just
yeah,
FYI.
Like I think Green could play like 30 or 32 if Porter plays more. Like I think that if Porter plays more, you see minutes taken away from like Green, Decker, Brown before you really start getting them taken from Thomas Bryant.
Okay. Wookie23 in the YouTube chat said something, and I think that you and I are going to be on the same side of this, but I do want to point it out. Bryant will outperform Whiteside in raw fantasy points. I don't think that that's an outlandish take, but the upside of Hassan Whiteside in a tournament is what you're looking for. In a median projection sense, yeah, you can make a case that those guys can be pretty close from Bryant's minutes to Whiteside's minutes. But that's not why you're playing Hassan Whiteside in a tournament at 7K on FanDuel. You're playing him because you think that he can go for 60, which is not something that you really think is feasible out of Thomas Bryant.
Right. Yeah, I think they project pretty similarly, like because I have Bryant for 6 more minutes than Whiteside.
Right.
And Bryant is a very good per minute player as well. He's over a fantasy point per minute. Whiteside's like a 1.3 to 1.4 per minute guy.
Right.
In a better spot.
Yeah. So there's so much more ceiling in a Hassan Whiteside game than there is in a Thomas Bryant game. That's all.
Yep.
I thought it was an interesting point because, it's probably 55-45 Whiteside in raw points, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Yeah, I have Whiteside projected for more points.
So do I. Whiteside needs minutes to get 60, and he never gets them. He really doesn't. He does, but everybody does to an extent. But
yeah, Whiteside's played 30 minutes more often than not lately. Like if you take out blowouts.
Yeah. Talk about the rest of the Wiz. I don't really see a ton, at least on DK, and that's where the prices are advantageous.
Right.
Jeff Green and Satoransky on Yahoo, I guess, but I don't know. This isn't a really good spot.
Yeah, so DraftKings finally bumped up the prices, and it's when they're going from facing Atlanta to facing Miami. So, a bunch of secondary guys that I'll probably get some, but tough to imagine that I get tons.
Yep. Alrighty. You ready to move on?
Yep.
Minnesota Timberwolves hosting the Orlando Magic. 109 implied total for the Wolves, 104 for the Magic. A little bit of a pace down spot for Minnesota. Jeff Teague, questionable. Derrick Rose, doubtful. Robert Covington, out. So should look pretty similar to the most recent game. Towns, 10-6 on FanDuel, 9,900 on DK, $49 on Yahoo. I love them on FanDuel and DK. I could avoid it on Yahoo for 49, but talk to me about what you think of Towns tonight.
I love Towns.
Yeah.
I
hope he's not owned tonight. Obviously, chalk on DK. He's at 16% on FanDuel. I would happily have more than that.
Yeah, it's just he's the entire offense. From assists to scoring, he plays a boatload of minutes. He's still not over 10K on DraftKings. There's nothing negative I can say about Karl-Anthony Towns.
I love him.
And it's why, Bradley, it's just another example of, Bradley Beal at 9,200. There's value there for sure. But, 92 for Beal or 99 for Cat, obviously different positions, but I would take Cat every single time.
Yeah, agreed. Man, I wish Dario Saric could sniff more minutes because he's only 3,600 on FanDuel tonight.
Wow. That's worth just rolling the dice on anyway as a drop.
Yeah. Taj Gibson rolls an ankle or something like that. Sarge soaks up 30 and puts up, 40 something at 3,600.
Yeah, so they still, even with Minnesota being shorthanded against Boston, they still split 48 minutes.
Yeah, they dusted off Anthony Tolliver.
Yeah, for 26 minutes.
Yeah, I was trying to plot out the minutes, and I was like, wow, Sarge still didn't get them. Who the fuck played? Anthony Tolliver.
Yeah, I was looking just now. I was like, I guess they played James Nunnally. And I was like, oh, no, he played 3.
Yep. It's craziness.
I'm trying to figure out where the hell Okogie's minutes went.
He's only playing 20. I put him in for 24 today. That's essentially what he's played in all of these games.
He was in foul trouble for one of them. But they went to Anthony Tolliver. Yeah, Anthony Tolliver just took all of the minutes.
Yeah, and I don't see Orlando being a very different set of circumstances with the way that they're structured in the front court, where Tolliver wouldn't continue to get at least some of this time if the same injuries are occurring.
No, I mean, if anything, it's easier.
Yeah.
Sorry. Like it's Jonathan Isaac and Aaron Gordon.
Right. So I think you could safely ignore Josh Okogie. FanDuel, sure, because you can always drop the score. He's the minimum on Yahoo. I don't really see the need, considering there'll be 20 guys at $10 or $11 that you could roster. So I don't know. Not for me. Do you want Wiggins or Teague or Jones or any of these guys?
I mean, I have Teague out right now.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, he's 6,200. I imagine he'd be limited when he comes back anyway. So
I have him in for 28 minutes, so he's useless.
Yeah, it's Tibbs, so I might not be right on the limited part. But yeah, I mean, I think Wiggins is kind of appealing. Like the price tag isn't great, but just because we project Towns for a lot of ownership, if Towns does not have a good game, the most likely outcome is that Wiggins, it's just one of those like 50 burgers from Wiggins that he has, a couple times a year. And it's really hard not to remember that last slate, where Towns was 25% owned against Boston, Wiggins was 2. So it's not like people were just jamming in all the Minnesota guys.
True.
There's definitely upside to having Andrew Wiggins here and just, hoping that you get an outlier game from him.
Completely.
The opportunity should certainly be there.
Yeah, I have him in for 38 minutes. He'll soak that up. At $22 on Yahoo, I think that's kind of appealing. You need him to get to 30, basically. No, that's not right. 42. Bad math in my head for some reason that I don't really know.
That's also where Josh Okogie's minutes went. I didn't realize that Wiggins played 43 minutes and lost 2 to just the end of the game. 3 minutes at the end of the game.
Yeah. Thanks, Tibbs. We'll go to Orlando, where I like Aaron Gordon. 7,600 on FanDuel, 7,100 on DK, $27 on Yahoo. Something about that $7,600 price tag on FanDuel has me interested. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's a decent price on FanDuel. He's just not a guy that I ever really get at this price tag. Like, he goes out there and he gives you good games, but he just so rarely actually does what you need him to do. Like last game, he got 40 DraftKings points. Like, cool. That's good.
He's the most expensive power forward on FanDuel today.
Wow.
7,600. Second most. John Collins is at 8,300. My apologies.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
that's rare.
If I get some Gordon, I get some Gordon.
Yeah.
I think it is more appealing on FanDuel since you have to roster 2 power forwards.
Yeah, I assume that he'll be like relatively unpopular too. Actually, I guess we have the ownership here. He's at 5%. I like that kind of if he's not owned, for him to have like a Aaron Gordon ceiling game here. I'm not worried about Minnesota's defense with Covington not on the floor.
Right. Yeah, I think it's a perfectly fine spot.
Yeah.
I definitely prefer him on FanDuel.
Right. Do you have any interest in Vooch tonight?
Outside, I mean, he doesn't project nearly as well as Towns does, and he's close enough to him in price that Towns, I think, obviously is the better play. Where it'll get interesting, though, is if, Towns is projected for like 6 or 7 times the ownership. Vooch has the same ceiling Towns does.
Yep. We have Towns at 21 on DK. We have Vooch at 11.
Yeah, so I mean, basically, it's just like I can't sit here and say I like Vooch more than Towns, but it wouldn't surprise me if at the end of the day, like my ownership ends up higher on Vooch than I'm expecting, just because I factor in projected ownership.
For sure. Do you want any of these other guys on the Magic? Because I don't really see anything as too appealing outside of DJ Augustine.
Yeah, I mean, Jonathan Simmons is back, so that takes a little bit of playing time away from Ross and a couple minutes off of Fournier. Jonathan Isaac at 3,700 isn't crazy. It's not anything I'm in love with, but it's a cheap guy that's going to play probably around 30.
Yeah, I don't hate it. At that price, it's hard to. But just nothing really appealing. But we're about to get into some appealing games if you're interested.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that. But first, hit that like button, everybody. We're all hanging out here. Don't be afraid to hit the like button and make things better for us. I want to hit 300 likes today on the video. Just a personal goal of mine. So while I know that most people will hear me say that I have a personal goal and want to go directly against that, I'd hope that in this new year you go in a different direction. Let's go to the direction of the Milwaukee Bucks. 122.25 implied total. Highest on the slate by quite a bit. The Atlanta Hawks, 108.25. So 14-point favorites for the Bucks at home. Start with Giannis. Monster pace game here. This game is nuts. I wish that it could stay close. 12-5 for Giannis on FanDuel. 11-7 on DK. $55 on Yahoo, which is ludicrous. What do you want to do with Giannis tonight?
55 is low on Yahoo, right?
I want to say that he's the highest salaried guy today.
Well, yeah, no, but I'm saying like because they have so many $10 guys, they have been making like Anthony Davis like 58 or 59.
He's at 55, Russ at 52, Paul George at 50, Towns at 49. It felt a little high to me at least.
Yeah, I guess especially compared to Towns.
I mean, clearly we like Giannis here. So like, the question is, can he stick around long enough to pay off this price tag? And is there a better allocation of that money elsewhere?
Right, and it's still worth keeping in mind that even if this game stays close, you're projecting like 34 or 35 minutes from Giannis, not 40.
Yep.
And again, that matters. It's not to say that Giannis doesn't have a monster ceiling. It's not to say that Giannis can't drop 75 fantasy points in 34 minutes. It just matters, James Harden, if he had played 34 minutes last night, would have absolutely sucked. But just getting the opportunity for that extra 4 to 5 minutes when you're talking about a superstar who can go out there and score 2 points per minute over extended stretches makes a big difference in terms of what they can do. So I like Giannis a lot. Obviously, it's a great matchup. A lot will also just depend on what value opens up today. I mean, so far, like if the Wizards were priced like they were in their last game, then it would be really easy to say, yeah, I love Giannis because like you had an entire Washington team that was $2,000 too inexpensive. That means that you can shave a little bit off of what you need Giannis to do because you just want those raw points. But so far there hasn't really been anything where we're like, oh, that's really easy value. That opens up a lot. So it's really going to depend how this slate breaks out as far as how much Giannis I actually end up with.
I got 0 on my DraftKings crunch this morning.
Yeah, that's kind of my guess of where I'll end up.
Kyle in chat said Harden was 58 yesterday on Yahoo if we're looking for a reference point.
Okay.
I think we need to talk then about Middleton and Bledsoe. Middleton 7,400 on FanDuel, 73 on DK, $26 on Yahoo. Bledsoe though 72, 66, and 21. I really like Bledsoe a lot on Yahoo at $21. Do you like Middleton or Bledsoe with any sort of volume today?
Yeah, I imagine that I'll get to both of those guys more than I'll get to Giannis, just because the price tags are more appealing. It's obviously a really, really good spot for them. I would throw Malcolm Brogdon into that mix too.
Sure.
He's been basically the same over the last month. He's basically averaged the same points per minute as Middleton and Bledsoe, and he's still the cheapest of the group. Bledsoe's minutes obviously are all over the place. Brogdon's kind of come and go as well. Middleton should play 33 to 34 if it's competitive. All three of those guys, I think just give you plenty of opportunity for like a 40 to 50 fantasy point game here.
It's really hard to want to focus on anybody here. Brogdon, only 5,700 on FanDuel, $100 cheaper than DK. I think that's kind of appealing. Brook Lopez, 5,600 on FanDuel, 57 on DK. Sure, I guess. I don't know. What do you think of DJ Wilson as a flat min punt on FanDuel?
I like it. I mean, I liked it against Detroit too, and it worked out awfully. Not sure that's a word, but yeah, I mean, he played 17 minutes. I expected him to play more, but that game also just had some really, for one, it was a blowout, and for two, it just had some really, really weird rotations from the Bucks. So I don't want to read into that too much. But yeah, I mean, on FanDuel where you can drop him, it's obviously a spot where anyone who plays minutes, you expect them to be productive.
Yeah.
And DJ Wilson, we've seen that he at least has a path to play, 22, 24 minutes. Is Ersan still out or is he questionable?
He's close.
Okay.
So.
That obviously makes a difference.
Yeah. Once he comes back, it no longer matters.
But yeah. I mean, especially if Aaron Gordon's the second most expensive power forward, it doesn't seem like the strongest position. It doesn't seem like there's the most opportunity cost.
That's where I was going with that. Yeah. If you're just hashing through a bunch of like-priced 6s and 7s on FanDuel, then it might be a good day to just throw it all in the garbage and try to come up with a different roster construction.
Right.
And Atlanta side? Because there's a lot to like from a DK perspective, I think.
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to update my rate and accidentally gave Eric Bledsoe an 82% rebounding percentage.
Oh, he's going to... I think that's standard.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty standard.
Yeah, no, I mean, 7,500 for John Collins is really, really, really nice.
Yep. Now, at 8,300 and the most expensive power forward on the slate on FanDuel, going to be a bit more of a tough sell, especially against the Bucks.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not that it's a super appealing spot by any stretch. Right. It's just that John Collins is really good.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Let's just start working through some of these guys because pricing quirks are going to be really relevant here. Dwayne Dedmon is $5,500 on FanDuel and DK, $19 on Yahoo. I don't want to say that I really like Dwayne Dedmon on FanDuel at $5,500, but that's really appealing. And apparently they're just cool with running Dedmon and Len together for reasons that I can't understand.
Yeah, okay, so that I wanted to say that there's no way they can do that here, but they just did it against the Wizards, so that's not a team I would have expected it either.
Yeah.
So Alex Len was playing alongside. So just as an example, Alex Len played alongside Dwayne Dedmon when the Wizards had a lineup of Beal, Bryant, Satoransky, and Otto Porter. That makes no sense, but they did it.
Yeah. So I have Dedmon in for 28 minutes and Alex Len in for 25. I don't really know how to reconcile that in my brain, but it does make me mildly like Dwayne Dedmon.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's okay. I'm actually shocked that DraftKings was as proactive as they were with Alex Len's price and got him to 54.
Yeah, now I have no interest in Alex Len on any site. Do you?
No, not with him priced up.
Right.
I actually, he was in one of my best FanDuel lineups against Washington. I didn't even realize I had any of him. He just popped in there.
What do you think of Trae Young on DK for 5,900?
I always hate Trae Young.
So do I, but
yeah,
it's starting to kind of look appealing.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, he probably plays around 30 minutes.
Yeah.
He can do well one out of every 15 games. If you were Luka Doncic, I'd play a ton.
Sure. Oh, God. The NBA, man. It's amazing that... And I don't begrudge the Hawks anything for that trade. I don't necessarily think it's a bad trade in a vacuum to be able to pick up that additional first-round pick and move down. I probably wouldn't have wanted Trae Young, but I like the logistics of what they did. But goddamn, from the jump, just looking awful. Tough sell.
Yeah.
Bembry for $12 on Yahoo. Is that okay?
Well, considering he's more expensive than Dennis Smith Jr., I'm inclined to say no.
Oh, shit. Yeah, you're right. I don't know. I'm just always looking for permission to play DeAndre Bembry for reasons that I can't ever really wrap my head around. It's one of those guys that plays in the mid-tier of minutes that grades out mildly okay in points per minute and is immediately over-projected in an optimizer.
Right. Yep. So we played Alex Len alongside Dwayne Dedmon, but we still cannot play Jeremy Lin alongside Trae Young.
No. Well, I mean, if I'm the Hawks, I'd play Len and Dedmon next to each other so that we lost.
Yeah.
Whereas they just need to trade Jeremy Lin at this point. Get out in front of it and just get him out of there. He'll be fine. Just get him to Houston now.
Right.
Oh, God. Do you have anything else in Atlanta?
No. They're most appealing from a strategy standpoint of, if you're playing Giannis.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, God. This game could get really ugly. They can't run out Dedmon and Len for like a bunch of minutes, can they?
No.
Like, can you imagine if you were playing this game and you were playing 2K and auto subs were on, and all of a sudden you were like, why the fuck are Dwayne Dedmon and Len on the court at the same time?
Like, you would just give Giannis the ball and the game would end.
Oh, it'd be so ridiculous. I'd be like, wait, hold on. Did I click on like 1977 mode?
Like, how they can't do that. I mean, so John Collins did only play 26 minutes last game. That's worth noting.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't argue with you if you just didn't want to assign any power forward minutes to Dwayne Dedmon. Give them back to Collins. Let Dedmon play 28 at center. Let Len play 20.
I don't want to talk about Atlanta anymore. They're depressing me.
I want to watch this game just to see if they do that and just to see like how many consecutive points the Bucks score.
That's not a bad idea. I would do that if I didn't have to produce 3 shows back to back to back coming up after this. So
no, I meant the game tonight. Like, I want to watch.
Oh, I thought you meant the previous like Dedmon Len rotations and stuff.
I want to watch the train wreck live.
Oh, yeah, I'm not going to tune into Bucks Hawks tonight at 8:30. I'm fairly confident there. I am going to watch a lot of basketball starting Saturday into Thursday of next week, but I'm going to have a very empty house. So those are the days where I basically don't get out of this chair. Which are pretty similar to the other days. Just I exercise like a half second more by walking down the steps, where now I'll probably just bring like a cooler up.
Right.
All right. Phoenix Suns, LA Clippers. I do say LA Clippers because apparently they are the LA Clippers. Have you seen this?
Yeah.
In the graphics, like when they played the Lakers. LA Clippers, Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah, no, I got bitched at one time because I called them the Los Angeles Clippers in an article.
Of course you did. Not, of course, that you called them the Los Angeles Clippers.
Right,
of course you got bitched at. Here we go. 113.5 implied total for the Suns. 117.5 for the Clippers. I kind of want to get... I really wish that the Suns had drafted Luka, even though I love the Mavs, just so that I could like hop onto the Phoenix bandwagon. I love so many of these dudes.
Do you still hate DeAndre Ayton? Because that's not working out real well for you.
Well, it was working out for me when it was working out. Best I can do. No, he's been phenomenal. He's been what everybody thought he was in late November, but lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, same fantasy points per minute over the last 30 days as Devin Booker. I would still rather have Luka Doncic, but
and his price tag's just barely moving. I'd rather have DeAndre Ayton at 7,800 than Luka Doncic at 74.
Well, I'm talking just basketball in general.
Okay. I know what you meant.
Devin Booker. This is a fantastic pace game. Clippers defense is bad. Booker, 8,800 on FanDuel, 9K on DK, $39 on Yahoo. He's my number 2 shooting guard on FanDuel today. I love him here.
Yeah, I really like Booker.
Phoenix not as much getting blown out tonight, not touching this game. 4-point underdogs at home.
At home. Okay. Yeah, it could happen.
Yeah, I just
the Thunder could blow out the Blazers too.
Yeah, I could never just get to that thought process out of the gate.
I think my favorite last night was someone giving me shit on Twitter for A, not having Kawhi Leonard while Kawhi Leonard was sucking, but B, telling me that the Houston game was going to blow out while saying that playing guys from that Toronto game was good.
That game was ugly to start. Whew.
Yeah, and as this conversation was going on, I think it was like a 25-point lead.
I was watching it. Like, I watched up until midway through the third quarter, and I knew that the Spurs were playing well. I knew that DeRozan was going off. And then all of a sudden, I looked at my phone to like look at fantasy scoring, and I was like 31-11. I was like, this fucking app is fucked up. And then all I did was just like look forward towards the TV. I was like, oh, when did this get to 20?
Yeah.
It just happened immediately. It was really ugly. So yeah, fire me up some Booker. 9K on DK is a kind of a tough sell just because of having so many other guys in that range. but I'm fine with it.
Right, yeah, if I get some Booker on DK, that's fine. Ayton, I imagine I'll get a good amount of.
These guys are all priced significantly better on FanDuel. Ayton is $8K on FanDuel, $7,800 on DK, $32 on Yahoo. I really like Ayton a lot on both FanDuel and Yahoo. Again, if I got him on DraftKings, I'm fine with it. It's just not as enticing.
Right.
TJ Warren. We're going to have this conversation. $6,200 on FanDuel, $6,200 on DraftKings, $23 on Yahoo. I like him on FanDuel. I like him on Yahoo. He's the chalkiest play of the day on FanDuel right now for us. Tied with someone that we did not talk about with any sort of volume, Josh Okogie.
Good. I hope that is a thing.
Yeah. Oh my God. I hope he's 27% owned in that game. I mean, I get it because he's 3,800, so it's kind of a different set of ownership for him. But
yeah, it's fine. But like even especially on FanDuel, like if you project Okogie for 24, there is not to go back to that game, but there is still a chance that he plays a bunch of minutes here. Like it's not just because Tolliver played 26 last game doesn't mean it's locked in stone that happens. So yeah, I mean where you can drop him anyway, like it's fine.
Yeah,
but,
chalk doesn't really count for me sub 4K at this point.
Right, but it's still just like there are probably better options.
Right.
But yeah, I mean as far as TJ Warren, like so there are a couple things that suck. For one, Devin Booker's back and DeAndre Ayton's more involved, so you've kind of had TJ Warren take a hit in rebounding. You've had him take a hit production-wise overall. So, that's not great. But also you just have all these wings on Phoenix, which it's not going on a game-by-game basis. I'm still projecting TJ Warren for 36 minutes a night. Yeah. But like we saw it against Philly, which obviously it was a very weird game flow situation in that they were getting their asses kicked and then the second unit came back. But you just have so many bodies there. Like Josh Jackson, any given night can steal minutes. Kelly Oubre, any given night can steal minutes. Mikal Bridges, can steal minutes. Like there's just so many bodies here where if someone gets hot, TJ Warren can lose minutes.
I completely agree. I would have liked to have some TJ Warren, but I certainly don't need TJ Warren chalk night for me to go up and over that number. The first 7 guys in my list of Suns all rank in the top 10 at a position for FanDuel because of their pricing. Wild shit for me. Bridges, 4,200 on FanDuel. I think that's a worthwhile punt. D'Anthony Melton is 3,700 on DK. The only guy with an advantageous price on DraftKings that matters. Would you go to him as a paydown spot?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it depends on if we get value throughout the day, but as of right now there just really hasn't been much, and getting Melton at 3,700, he played 28 minutes a couple games in a row. He played I think 22 or something against he played almost 23 against Philly, but again that was a game where the second unit went on a huge run with not Melton out there, so he didn't play at all in the fourth. I think you can still project 26 to 28 minutes from him. He's not a high usage guy or anything, but he's just cheap enough in an appealing matchup on a slate where, like 60% of the slate is just awful games. That I would imagine if I ran lineups right now, I would get a decent amount of D'Anthony Melton on DraftKings.
Yeah, I would expect so as well. Flat minimum on Yahoo is interesting if there weren't 35 guys like that.
Right.
But I'd be fine with Booker, Ayton, Warren, Bridges. Melton makes me a little nervous on FanDuel at 4,500. There's not a lot of wiggle room there.
Yeah.
You can take flyers on someone like Josh Jackson or Kelly Oubre if you're playing 150 lineups just because of their price points. But Booker and Ayton, I have a very focused eye on FanDuel tonight.
Yep, I agree.
Clippers side. Chat's wondering if Boban can ruin DeAndre Ayton tonight.
Again. Yeah. Yes. If he starts, I don't know. I still can't figure out how he didn't start against Joel Embiid.
Yeah, I can't really figure out that rotation any longer. Every time that I project Boban for 15 minutes, Gortat gets it. Every time I project Gortat for 15 minutes, Boban gets it. Right. So I should probably just do the opposite of whatever I think.
That
George Costanza.
That game against Philly just blew my mind. We even got the report because that was the first game that Embiid was questionable.
Right.
And we got a report that the Clippers starting center was yet to be determined. So they're waiting basically to see if Embiid's going to play. And I'd say, okay, cool. If Embiid plays, Boban plays. And I had a bunch of Boban because Lofty had convinced me that my original take was wrong and that I needed Boban. And so
What
I'm
does
like,
Lofty know?
right. And so I'm
We'll
like, okay,
never
cool.
hear this.
Like Boban, like the last time they played, Embiid shot like 33% when defended by Boban. He wrecked Gortat. He wrecked Harrell. There's, it's Boban. And then it's like Embiid in, Gortat starting. Okay, like I have no idea what determines Gortat versus Boban.
Neither do I. Outside of probably just Doc Rivers liking Gortat for some reason.
Yeah,
that's probably the most likely scenario. It's just like Doc has a really good relationship with Marcin Gortat for reasons that I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. As per usual, I have a really difficult time getting to anything from the clips. These guys are just generally speaking priced where they should be. Montrezl Harrell for $22 on Yahoo. Lou Williams for $22 on Yahoo. I'm cool going to both of those guys, but for me, any Clippers that I get are just sort of filler. I don't mean that like they're not good. They're just, I couldn't imagine just picking one out of the lineup.
Right, exactly. They've been, on DraftKings at least, it seems like they've been correctly priced almost all season long, with the exception of when Harrell was really, really cheap.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, like Harris's price has come down. He certainly has upside at 7,100. It's a nice matchup. I'm sure I'll get some and I'll be fine with it. Gallinari, again, I've mentioned that he's, over the last month, he's basically produced the same point per minute clip as Montrezl Harrell. His price tag's finally coming up a little bit. I'm fine with whatever I get, but there's nobody that is just like standing out.
I wish I had more to say here, but I really don't. We'll need news here. If we find out that Boban is starting or something, he's certainly viable on all three sites.
Yeah, no question.
2 games left in what should be a good game in reputation, but is actually a garbage game. 116 implied total for the Lakers, 108 for the Knicks. No Bron, obviously. Nice pace up spot. Fantastic fantasy game. Knicks giving up fantasy points 9% higher than average on a per possession basis. Their defense is some sort of awful. Shout out to the Unicornet. We'll start on the Lakers side. Okay, do you think Kuzma plays? Because I think that kind of matters.
Yes. I mean, it's a guess. It's probably like 50-50.
I have him in right now. And he would be first at his position for me on FanDuel, 6,900. I have him in for 36 minutes. I tried to back that off a little bit just in case he is like not fully healthy, but 36 minutes could even be low for Kuzma tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I have him at 38 just because I'm assuming if he plays tonight, like I assume he's fine.
Right.
Because it's not like he's coming off like a 1-game absence and like, oh, I feel okay. Like if he just doesn't miss a game, it probably is nothing.
Yeah. So I'm smashing Kuzma 6,900 on FanDuel. Fine with it at 7,300 on DK, but obviously just a much better price on FD. And then $33 on Yahoo is not a great price tag for him, but still playable.
Yeah.
Lonzo 6,800 on FanDuel, 77 on DK, $26 on Yahoo. You can safely get away from him on DraftKings, but 6,800 is nice on FanDuel. Did you see the tweet from yesterday from Zach Lowe about Lonzo?
I don't think so.
Did Lofty talk to you about Lonzo yesterday by any chance? Like, did he just bring it up?
No.
I can't remember anything from yesterday. So, do you know how many free throws per game Lonzo shoots? Like 1.1. You know what he's shooting from the line?
58%.
45.
My God.
Zach Lowe was basically like, why is no one talking about this? Yeah. He's that's fascinating. 1 point something free throws at a 45% clip.
Like that's just mind blowing. Like,
yeah.
I haven't
Same exact shit as last year too. He only took like 1.3 free throws last year. I didn't even know this.
I'm just like, how can you be a non-center professional basketball player and be that bad at shooting free throws?
I have no idea.
Like I haven't touched a basketball in probably 6 years, and I think I could walk into a gym and shoot 40%.
I know that I can. It's the only thing that I was ever even mildly decent at.
Right.
It's insanity. To only get one attempt is hard. It's not like Lonzo's been playing 6 minutes a game or something. Like those are legit per game rates at like 28 minutes a game or something stupid.
Right.
I don't understand. It's insanity. But I would still play him for 6,800 on FanDuel tonight.
Yeah.
With that said,
no question.
Nuts.
If Kuzma's out, Ingram's really, really good.
I think Ingram's probably pretty good regardless. 6,900 on FanDuel, 68 on DK, $23 on Yahoo. I'd be fine with him across the board if Kuzma is out. Clearly just jam it in.
Yeah,
I'm cool with it one way or the other.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think he's good either way. I think he's behind Kuzma if Kuzma's in and not limited.
I agree.
But yeah, like he's played 106 minutes this year without any of LeBron, Rondo, or Kuzma on the floor. 31% usage, 21.5% assist percentage.
Nuts. What do you think of JaVale tonight? 6,500 on FanDuel, 5,200 on DK, $17 on Yahoo. Is he fantastic and I'm just crazy?
I like the DK price.
Right. Agreed.
I don't want to give up my one center spot on FanDuel for a guy that probably plays 24 minutes maybe. But I mean, he is just such a productive player. I can see getting some of him at 52 on DraftKings.
I like the $17 price tag on Yahoo as well.
Yeah.
Love JaVale here. Certainly don't need to pay $6,500 for him on FanDuel, but those other two prices are nice.
Do you think that the Tyson Chandler revenge narrative affects McGee's minutes?
I didn't even know where you were going there. Boy. We gotta remember to talk about Tyson Chandler revenge narrative when the Lakers play the Bulls.
Oh yeah.
Do you want any Josh Hart on Yahoo at $16?
It's fine.
Okay. Because I know we don't want him for 64 or 62 on FanDuel and DK.
You are correct.
KCP, 4,500 on FanDuel, $12 on Yahoo. You cool with it? I mean, if Kuzma's out, it starts to become a little bit more appealing.
Yeah, if Kuzma's out, fine. It's tough for me if Kuzma's in. He obviously is coming off of a really, really good game, but it's just still, I have trouble believing that that's just, what he's going to consistently do. And now he's almost $5,000.
Garrett Mendenhall says, why didn't Golden State play McGee that much? They didn't care?
Also, also like legitimate reason was that McGee has asthma, like bad asthma. And there was a lot of talk this offseason about how he like entirely changed his diet and changed like lifestyle things and can suddenly breathe a lot better and stay on the floor for longer stretches.
That's good to know. Yeah, that's a fascinating tidbit that I did not hear. I was just chalking most of it up to the fact that they just didn't have to.
Yeah, no, that's I was too. And then I learned the other part like the beginning of this year when I kept having to project McGee for 30 minutes and being like, I don't know that he physically can play 30 minutes because I've never seen him do it. And then there was something someone pointed out to me, I think it was on Reddit, talking about how he just had like major lifestyle changes in the offseason and it made it so he can actually like play minutes now.
Yeah, I get the sense that JaVale McGee went pretty hard into some rough shit for a couple of years. There's probably a lot to clean up.
Yeah, I would think so.
Knicks, monster pace-up spot. Mitchell Robinson, potential to play here, which should remove any sort of real interest in the Unicornet and Cantor. Right?
Yeah.
Like, if Mitchell Robinson is able to play tonight, you can't really play any of those three guys.
Right. Assuming that he's going to play like any sort of meaningful minutes. I mean, if he like there would be a chance, right, that he just replaces Enes Kanter.
Yeah, or Cornette.
Or Cornette, right? That's not like. So I just don't want to make like a vacuum statement about it because if Robinson can play, but we get news that Cornette's starting, then Cornette's still okay. If Robinson's starting, then Robinson becomes one of the best value plays on the slate.
Yeah, for sure.
Assuming that, I mean, I guess he's probably limited though.
Could probably just go ahead and assume that Cantor will start now.
Right. No,
especially with this game being at 10:30, where we will not have this information whatsoever.
Right. I mean, I don't think Robinson will start. Like he's been out for a while. It was an ankle injury. It would be weird if he comes back and just plays a bunch of minutes.
Yeah.
But
He's about to murk up this front court though for the Knicks.
Yeah, no question.
Any interest in Noah Vonleh? 6,300 on FanDuel, $21 on Yahoo. I'm pretty sure that you're good on $6,500 Vonleh on DK.
I have some interest in him. He's just so productive when he plays without Cantor. Yeah. And obviously he's getting more minutes without him now. But you get, the rebounding goes up, the usage goes up, the assist percentage goes up. Yeah, I think Vonleh's fine.
Garrett says Knicks lineup is already confirmed. That can't be right, can it?
Don't think so.
I don't think I've ever seen a lineup be confirmed for a 10:30 start at 10:30 a.m.
Definitely not from the Knicks.
No. I'm not even confident I could pick their rotation tonight, let alone their starting lineup.
Yeah.
Knox, 5,800 on FanDuel, 5,900 on DK, $20 on Yahoo. Big fan of Knox on FanDuel and on Yahoo.
Yeah, I mean, the guy just plays monster minutes. He'll go out there, he'll get you a monster first quarter. He won't score another fantasy point in his next 28 minutes played, but he'll play him.
Chat is going crazy saying that they did announce it yesterday.
Oh, okay, cool. What is it?
Yeah. I wouldn't even know where to go for that information.
I mean, I would know where to go, but
Josh is always so sure, LOL. I mean, I don't even think it's true. Like, they might have given out a lineup. I don't really care about it right now. I don't trust it.
It's weird that it's not, like, on Roto World.
Yeah. I've never seen a lineup get tweeted out the night before. It also doesn't matter to me. RotoWire. I don't want to be. Who goes to RotoWire?
Last time someone told us we were wrong because of something on RotoWire, they were looking at something from 2 days before.
That's very true.
So has anyone shared what the lineup is, or are they just telling us it's out?
Moutier, Hardaway, Knox, Vonleh, Cornette.
Okay, so what it was.
Yep.
And what we would have assumed that it would be.
Josh, do you believe in the moon landing? No. Bet you didn't think I was going there, did you? Want to open that can of worms? I think it's crazy that we call space space. Think about what space means to you when you don't think about outer space. It's just an area, and that's just infinite above our heads. Fuck that noise, man. That stuff's terrifying. I don't believe in any of that shit. I don't believe I'm real. We do not want to go down this path.
Are you saying you don't believe in outer space?
Okay, I don't know. I don't know the best way to say this. In a way, yes. Like, I don't necessarily believe that like anything is real. I'm very much a simulation theory guy.
Okay. Sure, yeah.
So like the idea of getting shot out of let's just say that I could live I could put all the supplies that I need forever, and I could move at whatever rate of speed that I want. That I could just get shot off of the earth and fly infinitely. That freaks me out to the point where like I just kind of assume that like everything above me is fake and it's just like a painting.
All right.
I'm very, very Truman Show.
Yeah, I'll say so it's the Truman Show.
Yeah, like if I were out on a boat, I wouldn't be shocked if the boat ran into the set.
What shape do you think the Earth is?
If planets are real, it's round like a basketball.
Okay. And if not, it's flat and we're just in a dome like on the Truman Show.
Certainly possible.
Okay.
I am not a flat Earth guy. I'm just like a not so much Earth guy. Everything above me is a painting. Josh Engelman, 2019. Guys, you can't get me on this sort of stuff, man. Westworld really put me in a bad way for thinking that I'm in any way a real human being.
Okay, so anyway, back to this RotoWire stuff.
Yeah.
They do have the Knicks confirmed lineup. They also have Mitchell Robinson confirmed as out. So, take that for what it's worth.
This is the type of stuff someone who fades Harden talks about. I played him in 90% of my lineups last night. Come on now.
Yeah.
Josh, do we have free will? Of course not. Tim Hardaway, 6,100 on FanDuel, 6,200 on DK, $21 on Yahoo. Much like these first couple guys, I really like these guys on FanDuel and Yahoo and not so much on DraftKings.
Yeah, that seems about right to me.
Oh. Moutier for you?
Sure.
Yeah. Just a really appealing game.
Yeah, even so, I've complained a lot this year about DraftKings pricing, a lot, but it's really sharp today. Like, there's just been nobody where I'm like, I don't know how I don't get this guy.
Oh, God. I don't really like the idea of having so much of these late games tonight. It's really going to irritate me, both from paying attention to my lineups and seeing that I have 0 lineups in the money at 8:30. Just waking up knowing like, oh, you could have won a tournament or bageled the entire day, and you won't know until midnight.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else you want to talk about in Lakers Knicks?
No.
Alrighty.
Hang on. Let me pull up. I want to check something.
Okay.
Alonzo Trier is still 3,400. I'm not sure off the top of my head what his minutes have been doing, but
I have him at 20 for today.
I just wanted to look because again, like there's been no real good value so far. And of course, Popcorn Machine is not gonna really give me anything. So yeah, 20 seems right. We can move on.
Okay. Final game. Portland Trail Blazers hosting the Oklahoma City Thunder. Blazers 111.75 implied total. Thunder 110.75. So 1 point favorites for the Blazers at home. Nice pace up spot for Portland, which you wouldn't normally think of in this case, but start with Dame. 8,800 on FanDuel, 8,600 on DK, $38 on Yahoo. Is Dave like a sneaky, fantastic play here?
I always end up with like less Dame than I think that I should have at 11 in the morning. He never really pops in my projections. I have him as like a good but not great play here. Granted, I've said that about like every good play on the slate. Like there again, just hasn't been like a smash guy for me on DraftKings. So I think that Dame is a good play. It is a pace up spot, like you said. It is a good Oklahoma City defense, but yeah, I think that 8,600 for Dame is perfectly fine.
Would you rather have Dame at 8,600 or Devin Booker at 9K?
That's what I was trying to like figure out as I was talking. I have Dame like my baseline projections. I have Dame at like 45. I have Devin at like 46.
Okay. Yeah, I have Dame hitting his target score 21% of the time. Booker 8. A lot of Dame.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of Dame. And I'm totally cool with that. Not super worried about the defensive impact for Dame in particular.
Yeah.
Nurkic, 9,100 on FanDuel. Just you can pretty easily walk away from that one. 8K on DK, $33 on Yahoo. What do you want to do with Nurkic here at 8K?
It's tough because you had, $7,200 or $6,800, sorry, Hassan Whiteside. You have, $7,800 DeAndre Ayton. I love both of those guys. It's not the most appealing spot here, obviously, for Nurkic. He is just really, really damn good.
He is.
And it's a spot where, again, he should play towards the upper end of his minute range. We saw 32 minutes in regulation against Sacramento. I expect 32 minutes here against Oklahoma City. So he projects as good, but I have him behind Ayton. I have him behind Whiteside.
Would you rather have Yusuf Nurkic or Marc Gasol?
I have him behind Gasol.
Okay.
My Gasol projection actually terrified me. I thought it was because I had the line in wrong, but it still has him at like 47 points.
You only picking Nurk because of that last game.
Yeah, that's the only reason I'm picking Nurk.
That's I have never picked a single player in DFS because of how they did in their previous game.
I think I've been on Nurk every single slate this season.
Yeah, because he's been, up until right now, he's been priced in a very advantageous way for 2 months. CJ.
I'm trying to figure out what the hell is wrong with my Gasol projection.
Maybe nothing's wrong with it.
Yeah, I think it's good. So yeah, Gasol, I guess I really, really like.
6,400 for CJ on FanDuel and DraftKings, $24 on Yahoo. I like CJ quite a bit. I wish that price was a little bit better on DK, or I guess, I don't know, maybe FanDuel's was different. But I'm fine with it. I really, really have I'm starting to have a lot of trouble trusting CJ McCollum.
Well, if you want to have more trouble, we got a little bit of staggering last game.
Great. Fantastic.
Last time this happened, it went away the next day. But yeah, he played like 4 or 5 minutes in the second quarter without Dame. Dame played like 5 minutes without McCollum in the first. Third quarter, Dame played 4 minutes without McCollum. McCollum played like a minute without Dame. So you got like 5 or 6 minutes of McCollum without Dame. I'm not factoring that in yet because again, they did it for an entire game like 2 or 3 weeks ago and then it went away.
Yeah.
But it happened.
Oy. Oh, CJ. Yeah, I can't imagine getting to him with any sort of volume. Somebody said something. Any nervousness on potential Dame foul trouble? I can't imagine that would ever cross my mind.
I don't worry about foul trouble with centers and guys that play defense.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to get there with Dame.
No. Only other thing I really care about here, Aminu for $15 on Yahoo, I guess. Otherwise, I'm pretty much good for Portland side.
I think Harkless plays like 30 minutes here for defensive reasons.
Yeah, I have him in for 29 right now. 4,200 is fine on DraftKings. I feel like I could probably find a better way to allocate $4,200.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just have him as like a completely neutral play.
No, I get it. Russ, 11.6 on FanDuel. 11.3 on DK. $52 on Yahoo. Feels too expensive. I really am having trouble wanting to play Russ, but he's grading out really well, so I think I need to probably rely on the numbers a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, as weird as it is, like I just Paul George for a discount is just a better play to me.
Yeah, I mean the DraftKings gap between the two is pretty staggering. 9,700 and 11.3. It's 11.6 on FanDuel, 10.2 on FanDuel for George. He's 50. George is $50 on Yahoo. Only $2 behind Russ.
Yeah, I mean, then you kind of just have to go Russ.
Yeah. I don't think that I'll have any Paul George here. That kind of scares me.
I doubt that I have any Russ, and that kind of scares me. So on DraftKings right now, I have Paul George projected for 1 fantasy point less than Russell Westbrook.
Wait, say that again?
On DraftKings, I have Paul George projected for 1 fantasy point less than Russell Westbrook.
I'm going to have to dig into Oklahoma City after this, I guess. I have it slightly different.
So over the last... What'd you say?
12?
Oh. So I have them projected for the same 38 minutes.
Yeah.
And so over the last month, which gives us 15 games of George, 16 of Westbrook. So if anything, it skews Westbrook a little high by a game. George's usage rate is a percentage point higher. His assist percentage is at 17%, rebounding is at 12. He's averaging a little bit more. He's averaging basically the same production, slightly higher than Westbrook.
Yeah, I'm going to dig into this one as soon as we're off this show. I don't get the sense that I'll get him high enough that I would want him. But I don't know. Let me look and see who's around him. Obviously, I'm talking more from a FanDuel perspective. He's just sort of in no man's land. It's on FanDuel, it's Giannis at 12.5, then down to George at 10.2, and then you're all the way back down to Josh Richardson at 7.2. So, like, the construction of that is very unique if you go to Paul George at small forward.
Right. So even if I take their rates from the season, which, it's not perfect because you had Westbrook out, but I get like a 3-point difference between Westbrook and George on DraftKings.
I definitely don't have them close enough, so I am going to look into it, and I'll probably be able to narrow that window, but I just think there are better options out there for me tonight. I'm happy to be wrong. I mean, I'd use him in cash if that helps.
Yeah.
We're getting to a point where the ceiling starts to become an issue at those price tags. Adams, Schroeder for 5,300 on both sites is mildly appealing, but he's been really bad lately.
Yeah, I mean, if I get some Schroeder, it's fine, but George and to a lesser extent Westbrook are the two that actually look appealing to me here.
Yeah. Schroeder, 0.79 points per minute over his last 30. That's bad. That's really bad.
Yeah, it's not great.
You going anything else here?
No, I don't think so.
I think it's time to look at some props. Thrive Fantasy, everybody. Link in the chat. bit.ly/Awesemo. If you want to sign up for Thrive Fantasy, you can get deposit bonuses of $10 on $10, $20 on $100, and $50 on $200. Adam and I are going to take a look at our 5 favorite props for the night after I clear out everything that we did from Wednesday of last week. Or no, Wednesday of this week, rather. We got props yet? We do indeed. Nope, don't want that one. All right, there we go. Luka Doncic. 100 points on both sides. Points plus rebounds. The number is 21.5.
Yeah, I got him at 27.
I'm at 26.4. So seems like we are smashing Luka Doncic tonight on Thrive. Ooh, God, I feel like we didn't even talk about this, but let's do it anyway because I like when it's all 3. Zach LaVine, 110 points for the over. Points plus rebounds plus assists, 28.5.
I have him at 29. So I'll take the over because it's 110 points.
Yeah, I have him at 27.1. So that is a very interesting spot for me. I mean, I would just ignore this one for sure, but man, that was really close. 27.1. God, he doesn't do anything else. I hate Zach LaVine.
He's a top 5 shooting guard in the NBA, Josh.
I can't do this. DeAndre Ayton, points, rebounds, and assists. 110 points for the over. The line is 33.5.
I'm very confident I'm gonna end up saying yeah. That's actually closer than I thought, but I have him at 35.5. So over.
I have him at 32.9. So that line looks pretty damn good. But to get 110 for the over, I'm going to go that direction. Any these props standing out for you?
Dame points plus assists, 31.5, even on the over under.
Points plus assists, 31.5. I mean, I'm smashing the over. I've got him at 34.7.
I have him at like 33.
Get that over. Dame Lillard. Last one, then we'll get out of here. This one can be fun. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Even action on both sides. 18.5 rebounds plus assist.
I have him projected for 18.5.
On the nose.
Yep.
I have him at 17.5. So I'm going to take the under on Giannis here against Atlanta.
I'm gonna just not pick, but I would take the. I don't know.
Nothing. You would take nothing. There we go, everybody. Thrive Fantasy. Link is in the chat. Get a bonus through us. We've got lots coming out today. So I'm going to go through the list of everything that we have to worry about for the rest of the day from your friendly people at Awesemo.com. Awesemo Odds, the betting show coming up right after this at 11:30. We will have Alex Baker, Chris Spags, and Evan Silva breaking down this weekend's football games at 1:30. All of these links are already posted on the YouTube channel, so check it out. We will have from A to B, Andrew and Ben breaking down this weekend in NFL. The deeper dive at 5:15 today. I'm saying that very specifically to Adam as well. Since the game started at 7:30, we have a really weird start time for all of the shows. 5:15 for the deeper dive. 6:30 to 7:30 live before lock. Chris Spags and Fast Eddie Fear taking you all the way up to lock. Lofty will have the deep dive out in the early afternoon. I think that's basically it. We got a ton of shows today. So, Adam, do you have anything else?
No, that's it.
There we go, everybody. Best of luck tonight. We'll be around all day. Come pop into Slack and ask us some questions. NBA Strategy, the promo code. If you've never signed up at osmo.com, use that code, 7-day free trial. We will talk to you again Monday morning. Bye.